Alright, Shalom. We'll start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Krakodash. The honors to my apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule very well. And Shalom salutations to the brothers out there pushing the word of sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth, delivering the message to the elect out there to run a race of salvation. And Shalom to the elect, which consists of the men, women, and children that have the true, sincere faith of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, the ones that's looking to earn their wings of salvation to flee this upcoming destruction. I'm the brother Amalf out of the DC Church, coming at you with a video on the scripture in particular. Yesterday I wanted to bring out, and I thought it was heavy due to the fact that, we have individuals that's talking ill about us and things of the nature to where we want to get carnal, and they even say false things about us, and we have families, we have nieces and nephews, brothers got kids and wives and stuff like that, and people say things to us to where it's just like we don't have compassion and love for our nation. That's why we're out here. This is what we're doing. But we see that it doesn't matter to them because they decide to get ahead and go with evil, But we see time and time again when people come up against the man of the Lord, or people that are serving the Lord in its fullness, that bad things happen done to them. Look at Polite, look at Sakari. Then there's other countless dudes that we think about, man. But see, the courage to continue, man, that's what counts for us to keep going. That they will be persecuted. The Lord will take vengeance on them. Time and time again, we see that, and it's embedded in us because we believe that because we see over and over again. It's nothing new. Right? This been coming out a lot lately, but we'll bring it out again, man, because this is the thing. This is Judah 5, verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because their power that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed, and many battles very sore, and were led captives into the land that was not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to the Yahweh Shai, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem where their sanctuary is, and are settled in the hill country, for it was desolate. And that's the thing. We serve the Lord. There's not a lot that could happen unto us. It's just like a lot. Damn, Salakia. Oh man, forget the brother's name, but GMS feared him. Oh, not from Most High. Please forgive me. Oh man. I was just watching his video, but he said basically we have our spiritual highs and our spiritual lows. When you have that spiritual high, you feel like you're untouchable, you're unstoppable, man. And that's when we get those spiritual lows. Let me get one, bro. Let me get one. You get those spiritual lows. The Lord pleases. When our ways please the Lord, even our enemies are at peace with thee. And we see that the Lord is working with us. We just have to suffer the time until we see the Lord take vengeance upon our enemies. But this account that I thought of, and I was I went over it not too long ago. It's in Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, with King Jehoshaphat and the Moabites and the Ammonites were coming up against him. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give it to the beginning, and then I'm gonna jump to where basically, the Levites was telling them to get ahead and don't fear. And time again when you got mad accounts like don't fear, don't fear, don't fear. Even with Paul, when he was he was a killer. He was aggressive, man. But the Lord told him like, yo, don't fear, man. Hold not your peace. Go and preach the word, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is 2 Chronicles 20. Oh, that was in Acts. So I was talking about that account. Couldn't think of the actual chapter. I think it was 18. I should have turned off my notifications. It says this is 2 Chronicles 20:1. It says It came to pass after this also that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them the other side of Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, there cometh a great multitude against thee from beyond the sea, on the side of Syria. And behold, they be in Hazan Tamar, which is in El-Gedi. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the Lord, and proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help for the Lord. Even out of all the cities of Judah they came to seek the Lord. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of the Lord before the new court, and said, O Lord, power of our fathers, art not our power in heaven? The rulest not that over all the kingdoms and all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thy hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Yeah, and he went on, and he said, yeah, and basically he's praying and stuff like that, and he's asking for help. But then the Levites came, right? And I'm gonna jump down. Yeah, the Levites came in and told him what's up. And I'm gonna jump to 15. It says, and he said, hearken ye all Judah. And well, let me start at 14. This is 2 Chronicles 20 verse 14. It says, slack it. Let me just start at 11. Behold, I say how they reward us to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit, O power, O our power, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. And all Judah stood before the Lord with their little ones, their wives, and their children, right? Brothers got wives and children and stuff like that. We know there's a great multitude coming towards our way, both Edom and our people. And upon, man, please forgive me, Jaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benadiah, the son of Jelai, the son of Mattaniah, the Levite, the son of Aspan, came the Spirit of the Lord in the midst of the congregation. And he said, hearken ye, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat, thus saith the Lord unto you, be not afraid, nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but the Most High's. You know, Kol Halo Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, tomorrow go down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and they shall find them at the end of the brook. Behold, before Slakia, let me calm down. And at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of, but nah, that was the point, you know. Okay, hold on. Let me just finish. Let me finish 17. Before the wilderness of Jeruel, ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still. Oh my goodness. There was a video that came out about the earth. I don't know, the break off of Zachariah, man. They're basically going into the rapture, and how they're not going to have to face pestilence or going through no calamity. But how you know, once again, Jake knows, and we ask ourselves that how your faith is going to be tested if you're not going to see these things. See, and the scriptures say how, like, shall I come on earth and not find faith? Because things are going to get hectic. Things are going to get rocky. It says, and see the salvation of the Lord with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you. Call Halol Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I didn't know that was going to say that, but yeah, man, the Lord is going to be with us. Let me get Lamentations that in the NLT, man. I don't want to make this too long because there were some other scriptures I had. Go, here we go. This is Lamentations 3, verse 61. Lord, you have heard the vowed names they call me. You know all about the plans they have made. My enemies whisper and murmur as they plot against me all day long. Both Esau, Edom, and 2/3. Look at them, whether they sit or stand. I am the object of their mocking songs. Pay them back, Lord, for all the evil they have done. Give them hard and stubborn hearts, and then let your curse fall on them. Chase them down in your anger, destroying them beneath the Lord's heavens. Yeah, man. It says chase them down. I don't know if I read this all the way, but in Psalms it said the same thing, man. We'll just go ahead and, for the sake of time, not some other scriptures I have. I'm not sure if I read this, but this is Psalms 35, verse. I'm gonna start at 3. It says, "Draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt." It says, here you go. It says, let them be as the chaff before the wind. We want little work to be like that. Wither away, bro. The chaff in the wind, man. Cut grass. It says, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery. Wow, you know. Imagine walking through the middle of the night and through the woods, man, in a creek, slipping and falling and busting you, you know. And let the angel of the Lord persecute them. It says, for without cause have they hid for me their net in the pit. But yeah, that was the point. It was like, yo, persecute them because they're coming up against us, you know, and talking crazy, you know. So this is Matthew 5, verse 10. It says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manners of evil against you falsely. Yup. And look at that, falsely, man. You know, there's certain things people, they just be saying anything that comes to their mind. But it's so, you know, it's okay, man. The Lord gonna go ahead and deal with them, you know. It says evil things against you falsely for my sake. So this is all for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, because if we understand it's not, they think they're coming against us. It's like, but nah, you're not looking at things spiritually. You coming up against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is all this work is for you, for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Let me get this. This is Psalm 105, verse 15. It says, saying, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. So when you look up that word harm, right, the Hebrew word is that other one. It's not it. Yeah, and it's rai I. It's a ra I and an I, and it means, and it says to be displeasing, to be sad, to be injurious, be evil. To be wicked, be evil. You know? And what they saying all like displeasing words against us, right? Do an injury or hurt, whether it be good, whether it be physical or verbal, to do evil or wickedly, mischief, Slakia, to to be broken. Yeah, but that was the point. This displeasing words towards towards the men of the Lord, you know. But once again, you look back in the past, you know, and I had to get an account, man. You know, well, that was one. And we're gonna get another one for the hey. And Esther, Haman had created gallows to basically put us up, you know, to wipe us out. You know, not only to wipe us out, but then he had gallows to get ahead to kill Mordecai and things of that nature, man. So we're gonna go ahead and read that account. You know, I'll keep it short to the point. Was just edifying. And I just start at 7. This is Esther 7 and 7. And the king, hold up, just give me 1 second. This is a lot. Oh no. Yeah, I'll just start at 7. And the king arose, and the king arising from the banquet of wine, and his wrath went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther, the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. Then the king returned out of the palace garden, into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. So they hung Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then the king was pacified. Hold up, give me 1 second. Go like here. Verse 8, verse 1, 8 and 1. On the day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what was upon her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears, and put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. And the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther, and Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, if it please the king, and if I find favor in thy sight and his sight, and in the things seem right before the king, and I be pleased in his sight, let it be written to reverse the letter devised by Haman, the son of the Hamardites, please forgive me. Let me see. Hamadatha. Hamadatha the Agagite, which had wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's province. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon my people, or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? You know, but hey, man, you see? Hold up, this is a little more. We almost done. This one more verse. Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman and him that have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Kings declare revenge for the Jews. But yeah, you see, it came up against the wrong ones, man. And time again, we see, time and time again, we see that it's not going to be well with you, man. So what you're going to get? You're going to have a heart attack when you see see the Lord coming back. You know, it's pestilence that's going to come. All right, and this is Luke 21, and this will be the closing one. Couldn't think of. Yeah, I could think of some more. Cause like, what was it? King Antiochus, when he was persecuting us, you know, trying to make us eat pork and stop doing our laws. We had to do Sabbaths in caves, Sabbath services in caves and whatnot. He was persecuting us for wanting to serve the Lord. But then what happened to him, man? He wound up getting sick. His stomach was hurting him so bad, and it stinks so bad that his people didn't want to be around him. He was hurt so bad, he started praising the Lord. Called Hallelujah, how about Shemi Awashai? You know? And this is Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars upon the earth, distress of nations and perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. You know, there's going to be earthquakes, all types of manners of chariots going around, bombs going off, riots going off, militia groups going around terrorizing the cities, the counties. There's going to be a shortage. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And it says men's hearts failing them for fear and looking after those things which are to come, and looking for those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. And they're gonna have a heart attack when they see Yahweh Shah coming back with them chariots, man. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Call Hallelujah, how about Shemi Shah with that. So I hope you're edified, exhorted, and the spirit motivated. I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well. Shalom, salutations to the brothers out there, pushing the word in sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth, delivering a message to the elect out there to run the race of salvation. And shalom to the elect, which consists of the men, women, and children that have the true, sincere faith of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the ones that's looking to earn their wings of salvation to flee this upcoming destruction. My brother Amam say shalom.